Good afternoon, Governor Santos Jefferson. First, I would like to express my sincere gratitude for the opportunity to serve as the Director of Emergency Service Management for the state of Georgia. It is an honor to work alongside dedicated professionals committed to the safety and well-being of our communities. Your leadership and support have been instrumental in strengthening our emergency preparedness and response efforts across the state. I am deeply committed to upholding the trust placed in me and ensuring that Georgia remains resilient in the face of any disaster. I also want to extend my deepest appreciation to the fire departments from various regions across the state, law enforcement agencies, emergency medical services, hospitals, and our local, county, state, and federal partners. Their unwavering commitment and coordination are critical to our success in responding to emergencies effectively. Additionally, I would like to recognize the private sector whose collaboration and resources play a vital role in disaster relief, response, and recovery. It is through these strong partnerships that we can enhance our preparedness and provide the best possible support to the people of Georgia. Moving forward, my focus will be on fostering and strengthening our emergency management capabilities by enhancing communication, improving response strategies, and fostering community support. By working together, we can continue to build a safer and more prepared Georgia by ensuring that our residents receive the best possible protection and support during times of any unforeseen emergency and crisis. Thank you again, Governor Santos Jefferson, for this incredible opportunity, and I look forward to serving the state of Georgia with pride, honor, dedication, and commitment. Introduction. I have 15 years of progressive experience as a fire chief, as I've had the privilege of leading and managing emergency response operations at both the city and county levels. For the past 10 years, I've served as the fire chief for the city of Atlanta Fire Department by overseeing the largest fire department in the state of Georgia. In this role, I was responsible for managing a workforce of over 100 employees by ensuring the highest level of fire protection, emergency response, and public safety for the residents and businesses of Atlanta. My leadership focused on improving operational efficiency by enhancing training programs and strengthening community engagement to build a more spirited fire service. Prior to my tenure in Atlanta, I served for 5 years as the fire chief in Clayton County, which is one of the fastest growing counties in the state of Georgia. During this time, I led a team of 50 dedicated firefighters and emergency personnel by implementing strategic initiatives to improve fire and rescue services. One of my key accomplishments was overseeing the successful planning and opening of 3 fire stations to meet the increasing demands of the rapidly expanding population, which is the fastest growing county in Georgia. My experience in Clayton County reinforced the importance of proactive emergency planning and resource allocation to support community safety and development. I have earned my master's in occupational safety and health from Columbia Southern University in 2024 and currently working on my second master's in fire executive leadership, whereas I expect to be successfully completed by June 1st, 2025. My leadership philosophy is centered on teamwork, continuous improvement, and an innovation in fire service operations. I take great pride in my track record of ensuring public safety, developing future fire service leaders, and implementing policies that strengthens Georgia's emergency management framework. Together, we succeed as one, moving in the direction of saving lives. My vision for the next 5 years in emergency management is to enhance Georgia's emergency preparedness, response, and recovery capabilities through innovation, collaboration, and strategic planning with agencies at the city, county, and state levels. I am deeply committed to strengthening interagency coordination among local, state, and federal partners, as well as fostering public-private partnerships to improve disaster readiness. My key priorities include investing in advanced training programs, modernizing emergency response technology, and expanding community outreach initiatives to ensure all residents are informed and prepared for emergencies of all kinds. Additionally, I will focus on improving resource allocation, increasing operational efficiency by developing policies that promote a proactive approach to disaster mitigation and recovery. By building a more sustainable emergency management system, we can better protect lives, infrastructure, and the economic stability of our state in the face of future adversities and challenges. Emergency management effectiveness. Under my leadership and guidance, our emergency response capabilities and management effectiveness will be improved within the first 6 months under my leadership. The improvements will come through more advanced training, procuring the latest state-of-the-art technology, such as infrared apparatus, self-contained breathing apparatus, and improving fire stations throughout the state of Georgia. We will also improve upon the emergency call center response time with residents by having an aggressive fundraising campaign, whereas we will plan to raise $2 million within the first 6 months, which will enable us to hire 100 additional emergency response operators to better handle the increased demand. This initiative will enable the emergency response efforts to increase the arrival time to an emergency by 30% or within 5 minutes after the first call is received. This will enable the emergency response to improve effectiveness and to help save more lives in the short and long term. Effectiveness of specialized teams. Nevertheless, the effectiveness of specialized teams such as boat and marine rescue teams along our coastal areas will improve with the hiring of additional and experienced personnel. We will form a partnership with the local military base and Coast Guard in Savannah, Georgia, and recruit personnel with extensive boat and rescue operations. Additionally, we have been allocated funds of $3 million for our efforts, and we will procure several high-speed boats with life-saving capabilities aboard, which will help us to decrease boating fatalities along the coast. A significant portion of these funds will go towards training and educating boat owners, and we will conduct monthly seminars on our boat safety tips. Moreover, our hazardous response team will get upgrades to their equipment and tools to be able to perform their jobs more efficiently. They will receive more advanced training on an annual basis to be better prepared to respond to growing chemical response calls throughout the state. Additionally, the hazardous response team will be required to receive 24 hours of technological training monthly, and this advanced training will help the emergency response efforts to be better prepared and respond to any chemical, biological, nuclear, and radiation emergencies. fire department roles in emergency medical services. Essentially, the role and responsibility of the fire responder is to protect people, property, and their environment. And their role will increase as we receive more life-saving and paramedic type training. The paramedic training is critical to effectively responding to an emergency, whereas first response team is the first to arrive at the scene. Firefighters will be required to receive 16 hours of advanced training monthly, and the training will be conducted by medical professionals at Emory University. However, due to the shortage of qualified and experienced paramedics within the state, the fire department would be better prepared to deal with all types of medical and life-saving emergencies. Developing partnerships in the private sector, local officials, and local public safety response agencies. I will hire a communications director who will be responsible for establishing frequent communications with professionals in the private sector, local officials, and local public safety response personnel. As such, we will conduct a bi-weekly emergency response meeting, which will be held on the first and third Tuesday of each month to establish and maintain resource management efforts, collaboration, and coordination, and keep open lines of communications for all agencies involved. Communication and coordination of our collective efforts will better the emergency response efforts throughout the state of Georgia. Working with state and federal agencies. By coordinating with state and federal agencies, I will establish a unified command structure to streamline communication and resource deployment during emergency response efforts. Our team will work closely with FEMA, the State Emergency Management Agency, and local responders to ensure efficient distribution of aid and recovery resources throughout the state. By collaborating with multiple agencies, including CDC and state health departments, I will develop a comprehensive public safety strategy to mitigate any crisis effectively. Plans and method for coordinating wildland firefighting and mutual aid. As director, I will promote a fire chief from the Macon Fire Department to become the wildland emergency response manager with a division of 100 to 150 employees who will be hired to prepare, respond, and mitigate unforeseen wildfires in the southern portion of the state. The wildland emergency response manager will meet with me and my other staff monthly to provide updates and other relevant information so that additional funding may be allocated for better technical assistance, equipment, and tools. On the other hand, mutual aid to those individuals, businesses, and other establishments affected will be collaborated with the Red Cross, which we will have formed a partnership to help us allocate mutual aid where needed. The current and emerging trends which impact emergency response efforts. Building trust in the community is crucial for effective emergency response efforts. When residents trust emergency responders, they are likely to follow instructions during crisis, report emergencies promptly, and collaborate in recovery efforts. Trust is built through transparency, community involvement, and cultural competency. Regular outreach programs such as town hall meetings, safety workshops, and social media engagement will help bridge the gap between first responders and the communities which we serve. Additionally, fostering diversity in emergency response can improve communication and trust as responders who reflect the demographics of their communities for which we serve can better understand and address unique necessities. The safety of emergency responders is equally critical, as we often work in hazardous conditions that put our mental and physical well-being at risk. Proper training, having access to protective equipment and clear operational protocols ensure that our responders can perform their duties without unnecessary danger. Mental health support, including stress management programs and peer counseling, is essential to prevent burnout and post-traumatic stress. Investing in safety technologies such as improved personal protective equipment and real-time hazard monitoring systems can further reduce risk and enhance situational awareness. Training and professional development are key to maintaining effective and adaptive emergency response workforce. Regular skills training, scenario-based drills, and leadership development programs will help our responders stay prepared for constantly evolving threats. Encouraging continuing education and certification ensures that emergency personnel will stay up to date with best practices, emerging technologies, and evolving community needs. By prioritizing diversity and recruitment and leadership, our emergency response agencies can foster a culture of inclusion and innovation, ultimately by improving our ability to serve diverse populations effectively throughout the state of Georgia. The safety of the public is my number one priority, and keeping our community safe. Thank you.